A group of Israeli, Jordanian, and Palestinian environmentalists put politics aside to challenge a World Bank-administered plan to revive the Dead Sea by linking it to the Red Sea with a pipeline, canal, or tunnel. Currently in feasibility studies, the estimated $15 billion Red Dead conduit is the most prominent plan to save the Dead Sea. But many environmentalists and businesses alike are warning that the conduit could destroy the sea's fragile and unique ecosystem.
This is a mega project that we're afraid will change the whole plane of the area. For the first time in the world, they're trying to connect two seas. There's much too little time that is being given for enormous impacts that are supposed to be studied.
One of the saltiest bodies of water on the planet, the Dead Sea can't support marine life. But its minerals and salts provide healing therapies, and of course, it's a hot tourist spot. The only problem is that it's dying. Decades ago, tourists would relax here at this hotel, along the banks of the Dead Sea in Israel.
The Dead Sea used to come to the end of this concrete wall. It's over a kilometre away from us today, and it's continuing to drop by a metre in depth every year.
The sea is shrinking because the main tributary that feeds it, the Jordan River, is drying up.
98% of the flow of the Jordan River has been diverted by Israel, by Syria, and by Jordan.
The Red Dead conduit would include a desalination plant to provide drinking water for the region and a hydropower plant intended to generate energy. The feasibility study alone will cost over $15 million to complete. The Dead Sea Works industry, one of the world's leaders of potash fertilizer production, carried out a range of independent experiments to explore the effects of mixing water from the two seas. The results aren't promising.
You see here crystals of gypsum floating on the brine. In these small ponds, 70% of Dead Sea water mixing with 30% of Red Sea. There is a blooming of bacteria which has a red color, 60, 40, and there's a various blooming of algae. It depends what is the proportion. We have to go very, very carefully in this project until we know all the effects.
Any biological or chemical change could harm the Dead Sea, and of course, the potash industry. The environmentalist group also claims that the Red Sea-Dead Sea conduit could potentially pose risks to the surrounding environment.
The bank is talking about 3 pipelines, a very large pipe that would take, according to the bank's own report, some 60 metres in width. So you're talking about a major scar above ground for 170 kilometres.
The pipe or the tunnel or the canal that will bring the water up will be laid in a very seismic active area, and we're worried about it bursting. The salty water from the seawater that could burst out of the pipes would then contaminate that groundwater.
The World Bank, however, states that there will be rigorous quality control to protect against leakage and will provide a rapid shutdown process if it does occur. A World Bank representative told Israel 21C that by the end of the study, they hope to achieve a very good two-dimensional plan. Friends of the Earth Middle East says that instead, a more viable option would be to rehabilitate the Jordan River.
Because it's the natural option. The Dead Sea really knows only fresh water from its long millions and millions of years of history. And the Jordan River is the freshwater tributary into the Dead Sea. If we rehabilitate the Jordan River, we have no environmental consequences.
The environmentalist group also believes there's no rush to come up with an answer. The Dead Sea may be shrinking, but research suggests it will reach an equilibrium and will not disappear entirely. With this in mind, the organization is warning against major infrastructure changes that could have potentially harmful consequences. From the Dead Sea, this is Sara Sorcher for Israel 21C. For more spotlights on Israel, visit Israel21c.org.